Hey guys, it's Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin's realized market capitalization hits $100 billion for the first time. According to data aggregator Coinmetrics.io, on August 25th, so-called realized market capitalization has become the latest indicator flashing bullish for Bitcoin. Later on in today's video, we're going to dive into what exactly this means for Bitcoin, what even is a realized market capitalization, and why this is actually a very major milestone for our favorite cryptocurrency. We're also going to be diving into some short-term technical analysis on Bitcoin and talking about whether or not what we saw last night, this major rally starting around 6 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, is actually indicative that Bitcoin may end up breaking bullish out here. You know, Bitcoin's been trading down and around $10,000 for quite some time, but we've rallied about $400 in the span of 3 hours, so that may end up becoming a very bullish indicator. I want to look and see if Bitcoin is trying to put a bottom in, and if it is, whether or not it's going to be able to. Following that, we're going to be doing a little bit of news here on Overstock's new CEO, because he says he's already drunk on Bitcoin's Kool-Aid, which I love to hear because Overstock is a very large company. Guys, there's a lot of good news in Bitcoin today. There's a lot of good news in cryptocurrency, and I do think you're going to enjoy this video, but if you do, make sure you smash that like button down below, and if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting that post notification bell so you'll be updated every time a new video goes live. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I want to start down here on the 15-minute chart and analyze this rally that we saw last night. It kicked off around 6 in the afternoon yesterday, Eastern Standard Time, and as you guys can see, if we bring up our volume, the volume was relatively low, but in one 15-minute candlestick here, Bitcoin's volume skyrocketed, and during that time, Bitcoin rallied all the way to $10,680. Guys, that's pretty crazy. That's a 7% run in 2 hours and 15 minutes. You don't see that happen very often on Bitcoin, or at least we haven't seen it happen in a little while. We do see little smaller moves like this, but that's a very large rally for such a short amount of time. Now, with that said, I do want to bring up the volume again because the volume is kind of just, you know, it just doesn't look the best. We saw one gigantic green volume candlestick and then not a whole lot of else was happening. I don't think this really constitutes a breakout. If you guys have been doing your own analysis, then you'll probably know that up until yesterday, there was a downtrend on Bitcoin like this, and Bitcoin was in this consolidation pattern. You could consider what happened last night to be a break bullish north of that consolidation pattern. I wouldn't call it that. In fact, what I would call it instead is a redefinition of the consolidation pattern, and that we should now redraw our trend line like this, because this certainly did not act like a breakout. Even though we rallied very quickly, the volume wasn't there. Bitcoin fell about $200 or $300 immediately after, and it fizzled out. So guys, yeah, this does look like it's a redefinition of this downtrend. It does look like it's a redefinition of this consolidation pattern. This just does not look proper. Normally, when you see a bullish breakout like this, it's not going to fall over immediately like that. Normally, if it's going to flag out, it's going to flag out somewhere up here. So I'm going to be looking at this as this being a redefinition of this downtrend. Now, with that said, does that mean that Bitcoin is going to break bullish or bearish out of this consolidation pattern? Well, that has a lot to do with our technical indicators, but it also has a lot to do with market sentiment. If we look out here to the 4-hourly chart, I do want to point out that MACD has gone bullish, but as we can see, that divergence is slowing down, and it looks like we may actually start seeing bearish convergence on the 4-hourly MACD relatively soon. Bitcoin did bounce off of the 40 level down here in that region, and Bitcoin did also break bullish out of this consolidation pattern on the RSI, so that's a bullish sign, but definitely nothing that's going to necessarily indicate a massive rally. If we look at our moving averages here, we can see that Bitcoin got above the red one right here, and the red one would be the 50 simple moving average on the 4-hourly chart. That is nice. I like seeing Bitcoin above that. I want to see Bitcoin maintain above that, because that is one of these indicators that Bitcoin uses to determine when it's in an uptrend or a downtrend. I can make that a little more clear if we look at it like this. Oftentimes when Bitcoin is above this moving average, it's in an uptrend. I'd like to see Bitcoin stay above this if we are going to move to the upside. Likewise, we are currently above the 20 exponential moving average as well. That has been moving right through the center of this consolidation pattern, and Bitcoin very much needs to stay above it if it wants to move into an uptrend. If we see a bullish breakout here and it's actually confirmed and it looks proper and everything's good and the volume's there, then we're probably going to be in an uptrend that will probably take us all the way to this downtrend of resistance. That has not been confirmed yet, though. Looking out to the daily chart, things are somewhat mixed. Bitcoin has not gotten above the 20 EMA out here, which is also an important uptrend indicator. As you can see, we tested it last night at $10,500 and did not manage to break through it. But if we look at our MACD, we can see that the MACD is starting to converge bullish on itself. And at this rate, if we keep going the way we're going, we'll probably see a bullish cross in the next 2 to 3 days. And one last thing I want to look at here is our Fibonacci retracement. And someone in one video pointed out, Jeb, you have your Fibonacci retracement upside down. You're right, I do because it's easier to draw it like this. Bitcoin is currently testing the 61.8% Fibonacci level, or if you were to flip this the right way over, it'd be testing the 38.2% Fibonacci level, rallying back up to this recent high. So Bitcoin is currently testing the 38.2% level, as you can see right over here. We have rejected off of it a couple times. This is a major level of resistance that I'm looking out for, $10,500. Keep that number in the back of your head, because if Bitcoin rallies again, it's going to be testing that, and if it breaks that and can confirm a break above it and then start using that as support, that's going to be very bullish. That's a level you need to keep an eye on, is $10,500. So what's the sitch, guys? What's Bitcoin about to do? Are we about to see a bullish breakout? Are we about to see a bearish breakout? That's the question that's on all of our minds. Let me put it this way. Bitcoin is in two two consolidation patterns. It's in this one right here, and it's in this longer term one right here. At the moment anyway, it looks like Bitcoin is trading relatively neutral in this one. We've spent a lot of time down here around the support, and we spent a lot of time up here around the resistance. So it could really go either way. As we can see here, Bitcoin's even getting support on the 20-hourly exponential moving average here. So Bitcoin very well may have a breakout here in the next day or two. That being said, on the longer terms, as we can see here with this center line I've drawn through our longer term consolidation pattern, Bitcoin has not been trading equally on both sides of that line. Bitcoin has had a tiny amount of trading up here around the resistance as of late, and quite a bit of trading down here around the support. So that could mean one of two things. It could mean that either Bitcoin's probably about to break bullish and start testing resistance again, and we will likely see Bitcoin move up here, and instead of being down here for this time, then over here we'll be up here, and then maybe we'll see a breakout there. That's very possible, but what it also means is that on the longer term scales, Bitcoin is looking relatively bearish because we continue testing support rather than resistance. If you guys are in CT2A, then you know that it's very important to consider which level the market is testing. Is it testing support? Is it testing resistance? Right now, Bitcoin is sticking around the support, which is indicating a more likely chance of a bearish break, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. So keep in mind that we have been trading around the support quite a lot, but at the same time, the technicals do look like Bitcoin may be about to have a breakout here, albeit a lot of those are short-term technicals that are very volatile. They fluctuate a lot, so keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and move on to some news here. This is going to be very brief. I just want to bring this up because don't worry, Overstock's new CEO is already drunk on Bitcoin's Kool-Aid. Digital retail platform Overstock.com's new CEO is not planning any major changes to the company's blockchain efforts after the departure of its founder. Patrick Byron, the now former CEO of Overstock, made headlines Thursday after announcing his resignation as both the head of the company and a member of its board. He wrote a letter to its shareholders that he did not want to disrupt possible strategic discussions by remaining in his position following his admission that he had a 3-year relationship with Russian spy Maria Butina, because, you know, guys, we live in a Mission Impossible movie. That's just the way this works. Point here is not the Mission Impossible script that's going on up there. The point here is that the new CEO is also drunk on the Kool-Aid. We're not going to dive into this much more. I do encourage you to read through all of this, but you guys can tell that there's no way I'm going to go through all of that in this video. The point I want to make here is that another company is still very bullish on Bitcoin. They are still working with Bitcoin. It's really important that we have the institutions on board, guys. It's really important that we have big companies on board. This is some good news. Anyway, moving on to the news story that I've really wanted to dive into today. Bitcoin's realized market capitalization hits $100 billion for the first time. We're going to read through quite a bit of this, but not the whole thing. It will be linked in the description. I encourage you to go read into this yourself. The Bitcoin network passed a new milestone this week as new data reveals the extent of altcoins' losses. According to data aggregator Coinmetrics.io, on August 25th, so-called realized market cap has become the latest indicator flashing bullish for Bitcoin. Okay, realized Bitcoin market cap surpasses $100 billion record. Realized market cap, an alternative calculation of Bitcoin's market capitalization, is now at record highs. Calculated from multiplying the price of each Bitcoin last traded by the size of each trade, the figure for Bitcoin passed $100 billion on Sunday. The achievement is just one more in a string of near constant records for Bitcoin, which recently posted all-time highs in areas such as hash rate and daily trading volume. Guys, there is a lot of activity on the Bitcoin network right now, a lot more than we've seen in the last year and a half. It's actually absurd how many people are using Bitcoin, how much utilization it's getting not only in our space, but also in other spaces. There are a lot of institutions stepping into this market, guys. There is a lot of utilization in Bitcoin to actually go and buy things with. When you start talking about Bitcoin, people actually know what you're talking about on the streets, which is a revelation that has been a long time coming. Bitcoin is over 10 years old now, and the fundamentals are always getting more and more bullish. This is simply one of them. Even though Bitcoin hasn't returned all the way to $20,000 all-time high, a lot of the fundamentals are even more bullish now than they were at 20K, which is what gives me so much confidence that we are going to go to 20K. As Cointelegraph reported, if taken using realized market capitalization focused on liquidity and trading volume, some claim Bitcoin's total market dominance in fact lies above 90%, far more than the 70% predicted by crypto data aggregators. And they're absolutely right, guys, because Bitcoin dominance takes into account purely market capitalization. Market capitalization is only price multiplied by circulating supply. Market cap can be very high for a cryptocurrency, even if it's not actually being used. But guess what, guys? Because Bitcoin's realized market capitalization is so much higher, and because its total market dominance in that area is so much higher, that's a major indicator that Bitcoin is actually being used for what it's intended to be used for. It's actually fulfilling its use case. And if you guys know anything about investing, not only in cryptocurrencies, one of the most important things that you can look for in your investment is that the investment is actually doing what it said it's going to do. Bitcoin is supposed to be a currency, and it's being used as such. So like I said, guys, we're not going to dive into the rest of this, but I did want to bring this up. This is a big milestone for Bitcoin. This is a first for Bitcoin. $100 billion sounds like a lot of money, guys, but in reality, it's really not. If you want, there are videos on this channel where I dive into multi-dozen trillion dollar markets like real estate market is. There are some gigantic markets out there, and Bitcoin barely has even 1% 10% of the market capitalization that some of those markets do. It is ridiculous how much room Bitcoin has to run. So guys, I want to end this video by tempering your belief and making sure you understand that sometimes when I call for short-term bearishness, that's not because I don't have confidence in Bitcoin. It's because the technicals are pointing bearish. I have overwhelming bullish confidence for the medium term and the long term for Bitcoin. To define those terms, that's 6 months out and further. I'm ridiculously confident on Bitcoin, even if sometimes the short term doesn't look phenomenal. So guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I do have a little bit of an announcement I want to make, which is that I found an amazing song for an intro and an outro, and I'm working on getting it licensed right now. So hopefully within a week from now, we'll have an intro and an outro made for that, and it is going to be so cool, guys. I went ahead and did a test edit in Premiere, and it actually sounds absolutely awesome. I can't put it up on YouTube because I don't have the license yet, but when I get it, we're going to do it, and it's going to sound amazing. Guys, I'm really looking forward to the remainder of this year. I hope you guys are too. Tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of today's analysis? What did you think of today's news? Are there any improvements you'd like to see to the channel? What would you like to see happening around here? I want all of your feedback, all your criticism, anything that can help us improve in the comment section down below. And by the way, guys, I do want to mention the August 2019 sale on C22A. I'm going to be extending it by 2 days so that we can go ahead and upload those new videos to the course while we are still running the sale. There's 3 of them that are going to be coming out most likely tomorrow, so those will be uploaded then. I wanted them out today, but they're not quite done. I wanted them out today, but we just need to put the finishing touches on them. There's going to be the support and resistance video here has been recreated in all of its glory, and I very much enjoy the revamp that we've done to it. I went ahead and revamped how to read candlestick charts. I really like what we've done with that, and there's also a new video in technical indicators that has never been in C22A before, talking about how to spot a winning indicator and winning trends. I'm very happy with that video, and all 3 of those out should be tomorrow, and all 3 of those should be out tomorrow or Wednesday at the very latest. So we will be extending the sale by 2 days. If you want to join C22A and learn how to do technical analysis and learn how to work in these markets and trade in these markets and most importantly profit in these markets, check the link in the description down below. Use the coupon code August2019. You'll get $40 off at checkout, and you're going to learn everything you need to know on how to trade these markets. Guys, for $159, you can get a skill set that could make you millions if you go with it and you run with it and you give it your all. There is literally no reason for you not to jump in and start learning. We have a 14-day money-back refund guarantee if you start watching less than 30% of the course material. If you're unsure about C22A, use that as a trial window. If you're still unsure about C22A, join the Discord server down below and ask some of our actual students what they think of the Academy. If you have any questions for me, feel free to DM me or to shoot me an email at cryptojeb@gmail.com. I'm here for you guys. The Academy here is to make sure that you guys are learning, and we have over 820 members that are doing so every single day. So check us out, the link in the description down below. If you decide to sign up, I know you're going to be pleased with the product. I know you're going to be happy with it because all of our students, because I never get complaints from our students. I never have any of them telling me that, hey, Jeb, I don't like this or that. I don't have complaints from them, which is humbling and surprising. But at the same time, I'm very happy about that because I'm very proud of the work that I put in, the team's put in, and that our students are putting in, guys. So check out the link in the description down below. But guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.